Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So glad you're here. If you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to show you how to wind the bobbin on this machine. This is the Pfaff Quilt Expression 4.2. So what I have here is I have a bobbin, and various machines may use plastic and some may use a metal bobbin. So this particular machine does use a plastic bobbin. I do want to point out, and I hope you can see it here, trying to get really close to the camera. Right there is a little hole, a little opening. So if you have a plastic bobbin, you should have an opening in your bobbin. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our thread and we will thread it from the inside out, okay? So let me get my thread here. So you will put your spool of thread on the pin here. You'll come over to this silver disc and you will kind of floss the thread right underneath it. It's got a little raised lip. You'll hear a little snap, so it's under that little tension disc. And then you're going to be bringing your thread back towards the pin for the bobbin. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our bobbin and thread, and we are going to thread from the inside of the bobbin to the outside. And then I'm going to set this pin, or the bobbin, sorry, on the pin. You do want to turn it because it has another hole where it sits down on that pin just right. So, and what that pin is it's a sensor that tells the machine the bobbin is on there. And now we're going to push it over to the right. I'm going to hold the thread tail. I'm going to push this over to the right. Oh, I just sat here and broke my thread. Let's try that one more time. I totally don't even know how I did that. Okay. So, bobbin's on the pin. I'm going to push it over, and then I'm going to step on the foot pedal. I'm going to stop it and just cut this little thread tail right here, now that I've got it wound a little bit. And then step on the foot pedal if I can get it over to me. So that is winding, and I'm going to zoom in. You can see the bobbin filling up. It's a little noisy. All right. So it automatically stops. I'm pressing on the foot pedal and it's not going anymore. So once it is full like this, it will automatically stop. You'll just bring it back over to the left. Do you hear that snap? You'll want to cut your thread and take your bobbin off. And that is how you wind your bobbin. Now, if you have a bunch of loose threads or something, then the tension was not correct and you want to undo that. So just keep in mind, it should look like you just wound a spool of thread, and that is how you wind your bobbin for the Quilt Expression 4.2. So I do want to just show you some differences. So this machine is more recent than some of the other machines. I'm going to show you my sewing machine, my very first sewing machine, and just kind of show you some of the differences. So let me zoom out here. Okay. So on this particular machine, the bobbin goes right here, and this is called a drop-in. Take this one out. So drop-in means it's right under the presser foot on top, and you just drop it in. And then it's got a little... Okay, so that is in there. Now, on this other machine that I'm going to show you, I'll slide this over. So since this machine is sitting down in this table, I'm just going to slide this in front. I just want to kind of show you just some of the differences. So you may have a machine that is a little bit older, which is perfectly fine. This machine still works great. This was my very first machine that I literally got in middle school. I'll never get rid of it. But I don't use it. It's more of a backup in case something bad happens, because I've got 4 or 5 other sewing machines that I've kind of upgraded since. But this one's special to me because it is the first one. But the first difference is older machines have these, or usually have these metal bobbins. Older machines are actually, you know, pretty good because the newer machines have more plastic parts to them. So on this particular machine, I'm going to show you how to wind this bobbin. It is slightly different. So on this one, we'll put our thread back here. We'll again go over to the tension disc here and floss it underneath there. Not that part. Floss it in there. You'll hear a little click and you can feel the tension on it. Okay, so it goes right there. And then we will, now this particular, I didn't have any empty bobbins, so this particular one, again, I'm going to show you right here from the inside out. I'm going to thread one of those holes, it doesn't matter which one, and then this goes on this pin, okay, and then we'll push it over. So it's very, very similar in the process. The only thing different on this particular machine to get it to start is you will have to come over here. Whoops. I want to show you the hand wheel here. This particular hand wheel has an inside hand wheel. This machine does not. So on an older machine, you may have to hold the outer part and turn this. See that? And that disengages the needle. You have to do that on some machines to get the bobbin winder to go. So when you press on the foot, it will start winding. Once the bobbin is full, it will the thread will hit against this and it will stop, and you'll know that it's done. And then you want to turn this. You hold the outer part of your hand wheel and then just lock it back in place. And that's it. So if you have an older machine, you may have to disengage that needle. Some of them require it, some of it don't. So it just depends. So that is just one of the little differences as far as learning to wind your bobbin between a newer machine and an older machine. So you kind of have a comparison. So the other thing I want to show you is this machine has its bobbin down here. So it is below. So this one pushes in. The other one I just showed you on the Pfaff was a drop-in. So this one has an actual bobbin case that comes out. So it has this little lever. You pull that to grab it. So the newer machine, the drop-ins don't have this bobbin case. So on the older machine, you will have a bobbin case. You'll want to see this goes in just like this. And then you have your thread. Now, do you see this little line? I'm going to get my fingers out of the way. See that little line right there? And then this little flat piece. Again, you have to come down there and then floss it behind here to get it through there. So let me do that one more time. I'm going to put the two together. All right, this is that little piece right there. We're going to floss the thread right in that little groove. It will run right behind this, and then it'll come out in this hole. So let me show you. So there's my thread right down in that groove. I'm going to kind of rotate this, and you see my thread up against the bobbin case. I'm going to floss it behind there, and now it's in there. Okay? That's all you need to do. But if you don't do this, it will mess up your tension. It will not sew correctly, because our machines are very smart and they know when things aren't threaded right and bobbins aren't in correctly, etc. So let me show you how this works, being that this is the drop-in. So we zoom in a little. So then we're going to just put this in here. This little arm, there is a little groove that fits into. So get it lined up, and then push it. You hear the snap, and this is in. So that is your push-in bobbin. Shut your door, and that's your little arm back on. So those are just some little differences between an older and a newer model machine. Wanted to show you both versions because you can probably adapt it to any of most sewing machines. They are going to be each a little bit different. But if you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. If you have trouble, I know sometimes just getting started and being able to thread your machine, get the bobbins wound and on right, can make or break your sewing project, because if you can't get started, it's very frustrating. And ask me how I know. Many moons ago, I had to, figure these things out. So always keep your book handy if you're just learning. But sometimes those pictures, the little diagrams, are a little hard to follow. So I hope this video has helped you have a little bit better understanding. So if you have any other questions about the Pfaff machine, I have two other Pfaff machines. I absolutely love them. I have sewed on a Bernina as well, and the other machine I just showed you is an older model, New Home. I'm not even sure if they still make those or not, but it still works great. So don't be afraid to try different machines. It just all depends on what you're looking for and what you're doing for your projects, which machine is best for you. I will just kind of point out the differences on a smaller machine versus the Quilt Expression has a bigger throat. So you maybe notice those things. Those are just some differences. And honestly, I need my machines to sew fast because I don't want anything to slow me down. So I hope this video has helped you. Again, if you have any questions, please put it in the comments. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and be sure to share it and give us any feedback. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.